Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon 2019 or Pokemon Journeys anime episode review. This time I am talking about episode 146, which is episode 10 of Aim to be a Pokemon Master. So, let's get to it. In this episode, Latias leads the way to Latios, while Ash and friends follow her on Brock's Steelix. On the way, Latias reveals to Ash that she has been following him for a good while, and that she saved him a few episodes back, which is something Ash expresses his gratitude for. Latias then connects to Latios and everyone gets to see what Latios is currently experiencing. He is hurt and running away from a Pokemon hunter who is riding on a Hydreigon. Soon, the connection is severed, likely because Latios is under duress. This causes Latias to panic, since she cannot sense Latios anymore. However, Ash soon calms her down. Since it's almost nighttime, they decide to stop their search for now. They will instead camp in this area and they will resume their search in the morning. After setting up a camp, Brock prepares dinner. Once it's ready, Ash feeds Latias by hand, and they all then gather around to eat together. The next day, Latios, who is healing himself by bathing in a spring inside a cave somewhere, connects with Latias. This allows her to sense where he is. So she wakes up in a hurry and she leads Ash and friends to where Latios is. Unfortunately, however, they are spotted by the Pokemon Hunter, who is searching for Latios. He proceeds to follow them, so they unknowingly lead him to Latios. Latias, Ash, and friends soon reach the cave where Latios is, and they find him deep in the cave. Latios is understandably wary of Ash and friends, to the point that he attacks them, even though Latias and Pikachu try to reason with him. As a result, Pikachu is forced to counterattack with Iron Tail, which leads to a clash between him and Latios. Ash tries to persuade Latios, and both Pikachu and Latias do as well. However, before they can come to an agreement, Pikachu, Latias, and Latios are hit with Dragon Pulse. The Hunter and Hydreigon are here, and they waste no time in catching Latias and Latios. Ash demands that the Hunter let go of Latias and Latios, but he refuses, saying that they are far too valuable. Latios then manages to break free, but Latias is not able to. The Hunter uses Latias as a hostage to keep Latios in check. The Hunter proceeds to line up a shot with the cannon on his arm, but Ash intervenes and the two of them get into a scuffle. This allows Latios to free Latias. However, the Hunter pushes Ash aside and he fires a shot at Latios, but Latias protects him by taking the shot instead, which freezes her. The Hunter claims his prize, and he then turns his attention back to Latios, who avoids several attacks before taking a Dragon Pulse that knocks him down. Before the Hunter can capture Latios, Pikachu and the Steelix go on the offensive, stopping the Hunter in his tracks. Since he is unable to capture Latios here, he decides to escape with Latias in tow, in order to lure Latios to some other place. However, Latios is too hurt to follow the Hunter, so Ash has his Swellow do the following instead. Brock tries to heal Latios, but in his distrust of humans, Latios pushes him away. However, after Pikachu reasons with Latios and Ash says that he wants to save Latias as well, Latios lets Ash heal him. With Ash and Pikachu on his back, Latios rushes after the hunter, while Misty and Brock follow close behind with Steelix. They all soon catch up to the hunter, who was kept in place by Swellow. The hunter flies away again, forcing everyone to chase him once again. He manages to take Swellow out by freezing it, though thankfully Brock catches it. Latios and Ash keep chasing the hunter, but the terrain keeps them from catching up. Steelix uses Smackdown, hoping to stop the hunter, but he and Hydreigon avoid the attack, and the hunter freezes Steelix as well. Knowing that they need to destroy the hunter's arm cannon in order to save those that were frozen, Latios hits Hydreigon with Aura Sphere. Pikachu uses Iron Tail to destroy the arm cannon, and Ash saves Latias, who was dropped by Hydreigon. Since the arm cannon was destroyed, all the Pokemon return to normal. While the hunter and Hydreigon seem to be out for the count, they soon resume their assault. Latios furiously and recklessly charges and attacks the hunter and Hydreigon repeatedly, since he cannot forgive them for everything they have done. However, Latios' desperate attacks are shot down one after the other, which leaves Latios frustrated. That is, until Ash offers to battle alongside him. While reluctant at first, Latios accepts. Ash calls for Psychic, which Hydreigon is immune to. This makes it and the hunter overconfident, so they throw caution into the wind and they rush straight ahead. However, Psychic ends up being a clever ploy, since it makes the hunter and Hydreigon lower their guard. Plus, they are blinded. This allows Latios to vanish from their sight, and he appears above. From here, Latios delivers a super effective Aura Sphere, which knocks out Hydreigon. However, the hunter refuses to give up, and he tries to settle things the old school way. But Latias stops him with Psychic. Officer Jenny then conveniently appears to arrest the hunter, who soon repents for his actions. The episode then cuts to a cliff somewhere, where Ash and friends get ready to bid farewell to Latias and Latios. Ash shows concern, since Latios is still hurt, but he brushes Ash aside, showing that he does not fully trust him yet, which saddens Latias. Latias and Latios then depart. They are heading home. Seeing them go back home makes Ash want to go back home as well. The episode ends with Latias and Latios flying through Alto Mare, which was the setting for the Pokemon Heroes movie. As they fly, they end up passing by Bianca, who appeared in said movie, and by the Latias from said movie, who is disguised as Bianca. Also, there is a scene early in the episode where the Team Rocket trio is seen returning separately to Team Rocket headquarters, with each of them bowing to become a Team Rocket legend by themselves. I did not mention this earlier since, while it is part of the episode, it is not really relevant to it. This is likely just setup for the next episode. So, that's the short but detailed summary of the episode. Now it's time to highlight, analyze, and comment on my favorite moments and or moments that are noteworthy/interesting. I think that this episode was definitely exciting. Latias leading Ash and friends to Latios, Latios refusing to trust humans, having to reason with him and ultimately begin gaining his trust, battling the Pokemon Hunter and his Hydreigon, especially when Ash got to battle with Latios, rescuing Latias, bidding farewell to Latias and Latios, and having them fly by Alto Mare, Bianca, and the Latias from Pokemon Heroes. All of this was amazing, nostalgic, and just an absolute delight to watch. I also love that Ash's Swallow got to return, take part in the action, and reveal that it learned Air Slash. Unfortunately, however, all the good in this episode was basically neutralized by the fact that Ash did not catch Latias or Latios. This is just terrible and a big waste. It also makes this whole episode and the lead up to it feel pointless. Why have Latias and Ash bond? Why have Latias follow Ash for 10 episodes? Why have Latias lead Ash to saving Latios? Why have Latios begin to trust Ash? Why have them battle together? Why have Ash help both of them? Why do all of this just to have Ash not catch one or both of them? It all just feels meaningless. It's not like Latias following Ash added much to the previous episodes, and this episode did not have any specific moral or lesson to teach Ash, nor did it mean anything in the grand scale of things. It had nothing to do with being a Pokemon master besides having 2 more Pokemon to befriend. So I wonder, what was the point of all of this? Just get us hyped for something that was never going to happen? Come on now. Ash rightfully deserved to catch Latias and Latios. The fact that he did not do this is just a massive red mark on this mini-series. Ash catching a legendary Pokemon is literally the best parting gift they could give him. And it baffles me that they want to deny him this accomplishment so much that they would have him not catch one this late in the game, and after spending so much time on him, Latias and Latios. Why can't they just let Ash have a legendary Pokemon? I can understand why they did not do it before, because Ash would have been overpowered, and he would have trivialized most, if not all, of his battles. Or they would have had to nerf the legendary to keep Ash in check. But now, there is literally no reason not to have him catch one. He is already the world champion, the strongest trainer in the world, and most importantly, he is on his way out as the protagonist. At this point, a legendary Pokemon would honestly just be a badge of honor for Ash. He really would not get to use it much, and he certainly won't be doing much battling with it. But this badge of honor is an important one. It's a milestone/accomplishment that Ash has yet to achieve. He has a mythical Pokemon. He had an Ultra Beast. He has a pseudo-legendary Pokemon, and he had another one before. He became a regional champion. He became the world champion. So really, the only pinnacle achievement he has yet to accomplish is catching a legendary Pokemon. And this was the best chance/time to do it. I just cannot comprehend why they still chose to deny him this monumental achievement when we are this late in the game. and after Ash has done so much already, with a lot of these accomplishments being things he never would have been allowed to do before. This is just an insult to us, the audience, and to Ash, since he cannot get something he very much deserves. There is just no good reason for this to happen, and this is especially bad when you consider that Pokemon Journeys was like, you get a legendary, and 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 you get a legendary. Everybody except Ash gets a legendary. This is just so wrong. Some Pokemon master he is, he does not even get a legendary Pokemon. They literally undermined the title and whole point of this miniseries. What kind of Pokemon master does not get a legendary Pokemon? I'll tell you which kind. The kind that is forsaken and shafted by the writers. I have no words to describe how angry I am. Now I still want to believe and hope that maybe, just maybe, the final episode will finally let Ash get a legendary Pokemon. But I will not hold my breath. If he does, then forget most of what I said here, since they will manage to save this disaster at the very end. But if he doesn't, then oh boy, will I be extremely disappointed and incredibly furious. Also, they had the audacity to show us the Latias from the Pokemon Heroes movie, which yes, was a nice and a nostalgic callback, but it was also like rubbing salt in the wound, since they basically are like, look, here's the other Latias Ash should have caught, but didn't. To me, this was just as much of a middle finger to us as it was a great cameo / reference. Finally, I am glad that we got to see Team Rocket again, even if only briefly, since it means that the previous episode was thankfully not their last dance. It would have been an awful way to say goodbye to them. I am sure that in the next episode they will get to reconcile and they will go out on a more positive and fitting note. But those are my thoughts on and analysis of the episode. Now it's time to bring this review to a close by going over my overall opinion of the episode. So, overall, I very much liked this episode. However, it was ultimately soured and made less likable by the fact that Ash did not catch Latias and or Latios. This episode really had everything it needed to be completely amazing. But sadly, it was undone by an awful and honestly unfair conclusion that wasted a huge opportunity. This miniseries had the potential to end in a very special way. But unless something absolutely insane happens in the final episode, this miniseries is, in my opinion, mostly a failure. And this episode is easily the biggest blunder in it, and the main cause of said failure. But that's the review and the video. So, as always, leave your own thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I love Pokemon and I love making videos on both the anime and the games. Also, please consider clicking the links on screen so that you can check out more videos like this right away. Thank you very much for watching and let's meet again in the next video.